Okay, really help just to get that understanding of how to create an equation. Okay, what an equation actually is. So, two bars, like so, like we can see, this bar is worth 20. Now this bar, this bottom one is worth the exact same as the top one. However, it's split up slightly differently, so we know. This part here is 15, and this is the letter A. This also links to a bit of algebra as well, which I am going into every Thursday. It's going to be like more algebra theme for the next few weeks. So, what I want you to do, pause the video. Can you make an equation out of that? So, to put a bit of clarity on it, this bar equals this bar. So this and this, 15 and the A, make 20. Can you draw an equation to represent that? Okay, so pause it, have a go. Right then, so let's get some ideas what you could have done. So you could have put 20 equals, equations have an equal sign, okay? We will learn expressions soon, but we'll get to that in another video. But I mean, the equations equal something. So 20 equals 15 plus the A. Could have had that, yeah? So 15 add something equals 20. You could have had 20. I'm not going to do this for every single question, but just to really show the idea of how many different ones you could have had. A plus 15, yeah? So you got 20 equals 15 plus A. 20 equals A plus 15. Pause if you think you could do other ways now. Okay, so other ways you could have done. You could have had A plus 15 equals 20. And you could have also had 15 plus A equals 20. So you can see four different ways for the same equation. Yeah, I'm showing you this because in an exam, it's not always going to be written as A plus 15 equals 20. This format here is what we like to see and what most questions that we do in worksheets and textbooks shows like this. However, that equation can be written different ways. It's so important that we see it and understand these different ways, okay, and the way it can be represented. Because it's not always like left to right. It can be, 20 equals and this. Obviously, this example is quite straightforward. And I'm hoping that we realise what the answer was. So, if it was, I'll just take this one here that I've circled. A plus 15 equals 20. Hopefully realise how to solve this. Something at 15 equals 20. So, a lot of us would do what is the inverse, which is opposite. So, I'm going to write it down for you so you can see it spelt. Inverse, big key word this is, equals opposite. Yeah, inverse means opposite in maths, okay. So the inverse of adding is subtracting. So we are subtracting the 15 from both sides. I'm going through a lot of detail because when you get to more equations, there's a lot more steps. It's really important with the basic of it first. So that's how we know A equals 5. Yeah, you see I've got it all in line as well. Yes, that's one example there, and hopefully we should have seen that one. Right, I'll box this off and I'll write another one. Okay, so let's say this example. I'll do the boxes the other way now. So we've got two boxes still. This pen. What is going on? So I'll have this box as B, and then that'll be 3. Then the box below it equals 18. So what I want to do, I'll stand over here, pause the video. Can you create an equation? You want to create 4 equations, go for it. Can you create an equation and solve it? Okay, so you have paused it and had a go. So I'm not going to do every single one. I'll just do one of them. B plus C, which I reckon most of you will have done this. Doesn't matter if you didn't, okay? So B add 3 equals 18. So we do the opposite or the inverse of adding 3, subtract 3 from both sides. So B equals 15. Okay, this is like the easy format of this, okay? Hopefully we've seen that. This is quite straightforward, this is. Yeah, you're probably thinking right now, quite straightforward. Right, let's take it up another step, yeah, because I always like to make it more, how can this get more and more challenging? Okay, so let's say we've got 2 boxes again. Eventually you won't need these boxes, just showing you the understanding of it, okay? So that's 30, and this time you've got another one. I'm going to swap pens in a minute because this is really driving me mad. Right, so split it into 3. And this time we have got each one as C. Let's see. Those boxes are all the same. Sorry, it's just the way I've drawn it. They are all the same. So let's see if anyone knows that one. So pause the video. Can you create an equation and solve that? Right, while I paused it, I've magically swapped pens. Right, so this time, can you create an equation? So 30 equals C plus C plus C. So if you want to get more algebraic now. So obviously this time, each letter represents the same value. Okay, each letter is the same value. And hopefully you should see that's 3 things. Something, add something, add something equals 30. That's the same. Okay, so we can combine those 3 C's together to go 30 equals 3C. I am going to do another video going more into, it's called collecting like terms, so you add them together. Okay, so now 30 equals 3 lots of something. So then we divide both sides by 3. So then we have 30 divided by 3 equals 10. C. And that one, so we know each of those C's is 10. There we go. This pen's a lot better compared to the other one. Right, box that off. Let's do another one. We've got to keep stepping up, okay? So this time you have got, so this whole box here is 40, and then this is split into 2 and is E and E. It can be any letter, algebra, X, Y, that doesn't matter, okay? So pause it, can you make an equation and solve it? Okay, so if you made an equation, solve it. Let's do it differently now. So get E plus E equals 40. There we go. Right, then you could simplify it more. So you go back to 2E equals 40. And then something, and well, what's the inverse of multiplying by 2? That's dividing by 2. So then E equals 40 divided by 2 is 20. Yes, hopefully seen now like the differences and how it can be, okay? And these are called one-step equations. So the reason why that's a one-step equation is because you do one thing to solve it, okay? So what I want to do now, I'm going to clean the board. Right, now you can see, got a lovely clean board, got 3 questions here for you to have a go at. So what I want to do, pause the video, have a go at those 3. These are one-step equations because you only have to do one step to solve them. In an exam, if these are on a GCSE paper, you might seem like this on a stats paper as well. It'll be 1 mark, okay? 1 mark because you have to do one thing for it. So pause the video, have a go. Right, so you should pause the video and have a go. I'm going to quickly run through. So the inverse of adding 14 is subtracting 40 from both sides. We subtract 14 from both sides because it's like a scale. If you take 14 from one side of the scale and not take the other side, it's going to go off, okay? Just like when I'm in the gym, I'm pumping iron, I'm on the chest press. If I've got weights on each side, if I take some weights off one side and not on the other, it's going to go like that. And that's the same if I add weight and don't put it on both sides. If it's not level, I'm going to be like this. And I don't want that. I don't want 2 sides of the body looking different. I want to keep it all symmetrical, yeah? That's the plan. That's how I do it from both sides. So 80 subtract 40 equals 66. So 66 equals B. Yeah, should have got that one. 1 mark in the bag. Right, inverse of adding 8 is subtracting 8 from both sides. So then C equals 12. And then this one, something up, subtract 4 equals 15. So instead of subtract, we've got to do the inverse. So what's the inverse of subtracting 4? That's adding 4. So we add 4 to both sides. I reckon if someone went wrong, you may have gone wrong on C, okay? 15 and 4 equals 19, which is A. Yeah? So for now, you can see there are one-step equations. These are more your basic ones, it's just adding and subtracting. Now let's take it a little bit up, okay? Let's box this off. There we go. Right, let's step it up a little bit more, okay? what about, we touched on this before in the video, a bit earlier. What about if I've got something that says like 4 multiplied by f equals 12? So what I want you to do, pause the video and have a go at that. Okay, so should I pause the video and have a go? Right, 4 multiplied by something equals 12. So we should have done, what's the inverse of multiplying? That's dividing. So let me divide both sides by 4. So we know f equals 3. However, well, that's the right answer. However, in an exam, it wouldn't be written as 4 times something equals 12, because in algebra, when it's a number next to a letter, like this, we don't need the multiply sign, so that would actually just be written as 4f equals 12. That would be written. But I was wanting to understand a number next to a letter means multiply. It's 4 lots of that letter. Yeah, 4 times by something equals that. Okay, that's just, I want to show you this bit first so you can see the link between them. Right, so we'll do another one for E. So let's say if I had 20 equals 5e. Okay, remember what a number next to a letter means? It means multiply. Yeah, 5 lots of something equals 20. So pause the video, see if you can solve that. Okay, so should I pause it and solve it? What's the inverse? Key word inverse, really need to know it. Inverse of multiplying by 5, that is dividing by 5. So I'm going to do 20. That's a rubbish 5. Right, geez, there we go. That's not much better, but it'll do. Right, 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So 4 equals E. Yeah, 5 times 4 equals 20. Yeah, so there's the other ones. Right, I'll give you another to go up by yourself, just to make sure that we've got it. So, let's say we have 8. See, I'm using different letters as well, just to make sure, because I don't want you to get used to it. It's always A, it's always B. Yeah, the worst misconception that people have is that A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, because they relate it to the alphabet, which is wrong, okay? It's, you know, it can be any value, whatever it's given, okay? Don't assume that. It's really important. So I'm going to go, let's throw the x's out there now. 8x equals 40. So it's the last one of this type I give you. So pause it, have a go. Right, so should have seen 8 multiplied by something equals 40. So we're doing the inverse, which is dividing by 8. So then we are left with something equals 5. There we go. So again, 1 markers, nice and easy. I'm going through all this because I'm building you up to the bigger questions, but we have to get this base knowledge first, really important. Now, how can I get a bit more different? And see, I'm doing it different way around as well. See, 8x equals 40, well this one is 20 equals 5e. I'm showing you both way around because I want you to be familiar and comfortable. So in an exam, you don't know how you're going to get it thrown at you, okay? We need to know both ways. Let's say now, we have, let's go differently after, what have we not had yet? Let's go for R, I'll use my red pen, yeah. I divided, remember on my other videos we say line and fraction means divide, really need to know that. Divided by 2 equals, I've ruined my pen now from doing that, equals 10. So, something divided by 2 equals 10. Pause the video, have a go. Right, this one's key. We've got to understand our fractions. Remember, this line of fraction, I'm going to write it and write it in every single video until we get it. Means divide. Yeah, very important. We have to know that. I drill it into my students every lesson. Means divide. I ask them on every single lesson that. So, something divided by 2 equals 10. What's the inverse of dividing by 2? It's multiplying by 2. So we have multiplying both sides by 2. So then this something equals 20. Hopefully we got it. I'm going to switch this red pen because it's starting to annoy me as well. It's out to go. God, these pens these days. Right, so let's take it on. Let's see if you can do another one by yourself. G-H, surround yourself with the alphabet then. Right, H, so let's do another one. Let's see if we have 6 equals E divide by 5. So pause it, have a go at that one, okay? So should have paused it, I had to go at that one. Right, so something divided by 5 equals 6. So what's the inverse divided by 5? Multiplying by 5. So multiplying both sides by 5. So then we have 30 equals E. Yeah, hopefully we're starting to get that now. We start to get this little bit of a build up. Right, let's see, can we take it a little bit further? So, this is going to let's test some people's skills now. Yeah, we are bringing loads in. I like to bring so many different little bits in. It's so important that we understand, okay? I always teach for understanding. I want people to understand what we're doing, because otherwise, why are we doing it if you're not understanding what we're doing, okay? So, A squared equals 16. Let's see if people know that one. Okay, so pause the video, have a go at that one. I reckon the biggest wrong answer in this, I reckon a lot of you put 8 on this, but the answer is 4. Right, the inverse, opposite of squaring something is square rooting, so we have to square root both sides. So then, the square root of 16, what number multiplied by itself makes 16? Well, is it 1 times 1? No, that's 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. Yeah, so it's 4. Yeah, because 4 times by itself makes 16. Okay. Yeah, when it's square root, you don't half it. I hope. Yeah, no. Some of you might have put 8, but it's not 8. It's 4. Okay. I'll give you one more like that to do by yourself. So have a go at this one. J. Right. Let's go for 8 equals B cubed. Let's see anyone knows that one. Do you know what? I'll do HIJK. Right, I'll do another one like that as well. So that's that one. Have a go at that one. Okay, let's do D squared equals 49. Let's see who gets that one. So pause the video, have a go at those two. Right, so something cubed, something multiplied by itself 3 times makes 8. So this is where you do, is it 1 times 1 times 1? No, because that 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So I shouldn't say 3 for some reason, because this thing 1 times 1 times 1 is 3. Like a lot of them think 1 times 1 is 2. It's not, it is 1. Okay? So then you go, is 2 times 2 times 2? Yes. Yeah? Because 2 times 2 is 4, times by 2 again is 8. So we cube root, it's called. So there's a few little skills going here, but it's really important. These are all one-step equations, okay? They're all one step. I will do another video on on indices or squaring and cubing numbers, okay? I have done a video on square and cube numbers, but I'll go more in detail about the indices and stuff and all that. Right, so that is 2 equals B. And now this one, hopefully got what times by itself makes 49. So this is where you really need to use square numbers, yeah? So we square root both sides. So you should have got as your answer D equals 7. Right, I've gone through loads there, okay? So it's loads of skills on one-step equations. I hope you benefited from that. Hopefully we did a bit of creating equations, so hopefully you understood a bit more how equations work. And we linked the algebra side to it as well. We are going to go more in depth every Thursday with algebra. And I know, a lot of my students, say the word algebra and they're scared as well. There's nothing to worry about. It's a great skill to use algebra. It is fantastic. And, break it down like this. A lot of these skills there, most of you could have got a lot of this anyway. It's just these few here that might have been, you had to think a little bit more. But this has been Master Jacko. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's all related to GCSE as well. It's so important. Don't forget to click subscribe, okay, and stay in touch on the videos. I'll see you next time. Take care.